brand new. Welcome to a brand new season of the menu. Let's do it. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Menu. If this is your first time checking out The Menu right here on SlicingDicingGamingEntertainment, I'm Taryn Williams. You will see me a lot, and if this isn't your first time on SlicingDicingGamingEntertainment, you see me a lot. So I want to welcome you to this brand new episode of The Menu. Once again, this is my flagship cooking show. We are on season 3. So I'm very excited to get into this episode. I'm not going to be talking here for a long time, but if you are new to The Menu, you usually see me for about 20 seconds to a minute, maybe 5 minutes. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. Then we get into the origin story for what we're cooking, which is just a brief backstory of what we're cooking. Then we get into our prep, cutting, dicing, washing, whatever we have to do for our topic of choice on the menu for this episode. We get into the prep, we get into the cooking, we do kind of a presentation or a plating part where I kind of explain my process of how I plate. Then we get into the final presentation. Then I will see you later on the newest video. So this is basically how the menu is set up. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Feel free to comment, tell me what would you like to see on the menu. I'm always open for suggestions. Just don't get too ridiculous because I will tell you no. Or maybe. You might get a maybe. I won't necessarily say no, but you might get a no. But sit back, relax, turn your YouTube all the way up, and let's check out a brand new episode of The Menu. Alright, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that origin story for steak and potatoes. Now let's get into our steak and potatoes. So I already have my potatoes diced into like about quarters or thirds, depending on the size of our red potatoes. So got that taken care of. Slide that over. And so this is going to be an original recipe. So I'm just kind of freestyling this a little bit. I'm going to add some black pepper. So I'm going to be making garlic rosemary red potatoes. I'm going to add some garlic salt, which is one of my favorite things. I talked about this on the menu and side dish and the lab. A lot of times I will substitute garlic salt for garlic and salt, or garlic pepper for garlic and pepper. But I love the smell of garlic salt. So, throw in some garlic salt. I want them to have a really nice garlic taste to them. Garlic can be overpowering. But I like garlic, and I think it complements rosemary very well. So, wrong side. We got our onion powder. There you go, onion powder. Then we're gonna have our rosemary. Let's see. Like, I hate that. Like, I always pop that off and just sprinkle it by hand. And you're probably thinking, oh, Taryn, the rosemary isn't really going to stick to the potatoes, right? You're absolutely right. That's why I'm going to add my secret ingredient, not really, some grapeseed oil. If you've been here for a while, you saw me do on the lab, which is technically my third cooking show, we made some fried chicken in grapeseed oil. It was a really good episode. Definitely check that out. But we're going to take a couple of caps of grapeseed oil and toss the potatoes in that to help the rosemary stick. Probably add a little bit more rosemary just because I really like the smell of rosemary. Honestly, rosemary is very underrated, personally speaking. We're going to give this a quick mix. You know what, I might sprinkle in a little bit more rosemary just because I really want the rosemary to stand out with the garlic. Alright, so now that our potatoes are nice and seasoned and oiled up, what I'm going to do is put them on a baking sheet tray that I have covered with aluminum foil and sprayed with cooking spray. We're going to throw these bad boys on our sheet tray. Spread them out so they all can evenly cook. Don't want them to overlap too much. And then we're going to put them in the oven on about 370 and let them cook till they're a nice golden brown. And then we'll check them periodically. So while these are cooking in the oven, we're going to grill off some steak or sear some steak. I'm not sure. Maybe one, maybe the other. You'll know which one I do in just a moment. Alright, welcome back. So we're going to get into grilling our steaks. As you see, I have my lovely cast iron griddle that I borrowed from my grandmother right here. So what I did for my steaks was, as you see, I actually marinated them the night beforehand, so they had about maybe 16, 18 hours to marinate in the stove or in the refrigerator. So I just used a black peppercorn marinade by Weber that I found and Ceramic Produce. You could do some modifications to it. So all I really did was on the bag it said use white wine vinegar, so I actually just used red wine vinegar. Because I'm using red meat, I figured it would make some sense. Yeah, but it smells really good. And these are actually Dominican steaks that I bought at Ceramic Produce. So they have no bone. I'm really excited about how they cook up. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's see. I love that sound. And what I'm probably going to do is do them on the griddle and then finish them off in the oven just to make sure they get cooked all the way. Don't want to put too much on the griddle at once. So we're going to let these go, get to a nice brown. And we'll go from there. I'm really excited about how these are going to taste. But yeah, I'll probably let them go on the griddle. Hopefully get some nice mark. And then put them in the oven. Let them finish off in the oven for a little bit. So they get nice and tender. Alright, welcome back. We're going to get into our final cooking section for this episode of the menu. So, the last thing we're going to do is, I know I'm doing steak and potatoes, but I wanted to add something else to the plate, just to kind of fill it out a little bit more. So I figured, while I was in the store, I'll buy some more not rainbow chard, I wish, Baltimore Red Chart. And if Red Chart sounds familiar, if you are a seasoned veteran of Slicing, Dicing, Gaming, Entertainment, back when it was Digital Chef ENT, you might recall I might have used Red Chart in the Surf and Turf episode. So don't worry, I'll definitely throw in the card for that episode. You can go ahead and check that out. But that was the first introduction of Chart to the YouTube channel. So I figured why not do a little bit more Red Chart for my steak and potatoes as well, just to kind of give it a little more color and just to kind of balance out the plate a little bit. I could just do steak and potatoes straight up. I want to add another ingredient. Just a balanced meal, if you will. So I have my skillet already getting hot. Just gonna throw in our chard, and just like before, it's just a little bit of, or actually a little bit of grapeseed oil, salt and pepper. That's kind of it. Like, not gonna do too much for the chard. With a little salt. And a little pepper. That's it. And it's gonna cook down pretty good. The skillet seems full right now, but it'll cook down. Oh, trust me. Believe me, it'll cook down. And again, just like on the Surf and Turf episode, we don't want to cook it. Don't overcook the char. You just want to give it, kind of hot. And I actually added some grapeseed oil in the skillet, like I said, so just give it a little, give it a little extra pop, if you will. You can tell it's already cooked down. Like it was almost spilling over the skillet, and now it's halfway in the skillet. There we go. Yeah, it went from a full skillet to barely anything in the skillet in like 30 seconds. There we go. So there's our chard, our sauteed chard, and then I'll actually do my plating, and we'll get into our final presentation for this episode of the menu. Alright, so let's get to the plating of our steak and potatoes. So I kind of learned some different things over the years, especially when I was in culinary, or did a couple of culinary classes in college. So you kind of want to build up. So what I'm thinking is we're going to take some potatoes, we're going to put the potatoes smack dab in the center. Kind of push them over a little bit. Then we're going to take some of our red chard and put it right on top of the potatoes, right there. Maybe a little bit more. And then we're going to take some of our marinated Dominican steak, and then we're just going to drape it over the sides. There we go. So you can kind of see a little bit of everything. That looks like a healthy plate to me. So here's our finished homemade steak and potatoes with a side of red chard. I cannot talk today for some reason. But thank you for checking out this brand new episode of the menu right here on Slicing, Dicing, Gaming, Entertainment. Definitely check out the other 2 seasons of the menu. Go back and watch the homemade ravioli episode of season 3 of the menu. There's a lot of stuff on Slicing, Dicing, Gaming, Entertainment that you can definitely check out. I greatly appreciate it. If you stay for a minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, however long, I just appreciate you stopping by and checking out what I'm doing over here on YouTube, for the YouTube channel. So, again, right here, Slicing, Dicing, Gaming, Entertainment. You can check out the website, www.slicingdicinggaming.com for my blog. There's merchandise stuff, the podcast. Also, definitely check out the podcast. You can find it on the YouTube channel, on the website, it's on SoundCloud, Anchor, a bunch of other places. So definitely check out Order a Podcast, which is the only podcast that I do. So check that out. I got other like gaming goodness stuff. If you like indie games, I got that. If you got Twitch, I'm on Twitch as well, Slicing, Dicing, Gaming, ENT. Come over there. I'm trying to stream a little bit more. Hopefully I can. Hope my schedule loosens up a little bit so I can get back to streaming. But you can find me over there streaming. I'll always post notifications and tweet out when I'm going to be streaming. But thank you so much for supporting the YouTube channel, the website, the podcast, the brand. Whatever you do, if it's a like, if it's a share, if it's a reaction, if it's a like on Instagram, whatever you have done, thank you so much, because I can't do this without you, and I'm very appreciative, I'm very blessed, I'm very grateful for what I've done so far. But I didn't come this far just to come this far. We gotta take it up another level, we gotta get to another step, gotta hit more goals, and 2020 is just starting, so we got a long way to go. So thank you so much for checking out this video. I greatly appreciate it once again. And always and forever, remember, slicing, dicing, gaming, not just a motto, it's a lifestyle. Happy New Year once again. I'll see you in the next video. Later.